Hi, it's Jim and Karen, and today we're leaning into planting some plants. So what we're going to do is we've got a couple of flowering shrubs, we've got a couple of smaller ones that are very Arizona, but we've got several variety of pepper plants. I have a client who, when he sold his house, he didn't want to keep his pepper plants in his garden, and so we've got a couple of habaneros, a red and an orange. We've got several tapines, which the poor little guys, when we took them out yesterday, it was 108. Today it's supposed to be 115, so I'm going to throw a little water on him here in a minute. And then he's got this blueberry plant that we took. So we're going to find some new spots for him today, and it being 115 degrees, we're going to be in and out of the pool. We'll keep you posted on progress. This is an area of our fence that was just kind of an ugly eyesore to look at. And so what we planted here is 2 cat claws. We've got this one here, one down there. We've got some wire wide mesh that the cat claw is going to collect on, and then it should eventually in a year or so cover this entire wall. We did check with our favorite guy Gabriel over at the nursery, told him that we had a wall here that had morning sun coming this way, afternoon sun coming that way, and you can just imagine how hot this gets in this Arizona summer. And he said cat claw are gonna love it.
So the guy that Karen was referring to, Gabriel, over at Whitfield Nursery in Gilbert, he's been helpful, and we've been going to him with questions about plants and stuff for years. So we wanted something that would bloom really nice and fill up a good area and bloom year round. And he recommended Mexican bird of paradise. It gets pretty big. You cut it down to the ground the end of every season, and it comes back all the time. It makes really pretty orange and red flowers. And the reason we've got these set up, put some rebar into the ground, is this is really intense sun, even for a native plant. So we just want to give it a little shade to give it a head start, and it's doing great. The previous owners used to have 3 additional palm trees in this back slab, but the irrigation went under the slab, and at some point it got broken. And obviously that's a heck of an expense to try to find out where that is and jackhammer it up. So the palm trees died and they had them removed. We've always wanted to have something back here, but how do you get anything to grow in Arizona when you don't have any water running to it? So what we've done is we've tapped into the drip line that we have for these plants. And excuse the flooding, the sprinklers just came on. And so we've teed it off and had my brother-in-law Ray come over, and I'll show you a quick clip of that, and cut the concrete with a diamond saw blade. And so it just widened this expansion joint enough that we could get the drip line in. And then the way we're going to do it here to keep me from cutting it with the trimmer is use this little shovel, I think it's an edger, and get the grass down and tuck that drip line deep so the string trimmer won't get it. And obviously when you get to a point like this, you need to put an elbow in so you don't pinch the line when it's hot. So after we get this planted, it'll be seamless and you won't even be able to see the drip line. All right, Karen, what are we doing?
Well, we just went to a movie, but we came home, and it is July 5th, and it's only 80-something degrees in Arizona, and the garden needs to be weeded. So we're using the lovely lights we installed a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to spend 20-30 minutes getting rid of that nasty spurge weed, which has been taking over our garden for the last, I don't know, 5 years, and they make me mad. So we're going to get rid of them for the evening.
And what we found is if I shovel a piece of dirt and then she breaks up the weeds,
break it up
and chuck it, it works pretty well. And finally, what do we think of Spy with, what is it, Melinda McCarthy?
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa.
That was cute. It was very cute, very entertaining.
Little crass, but
Jude Law.
Yeah.
Don't take your mother, don't take your kids, but it was very cute.
All right, let's get her done.
So you've been following the evolution and the progression of our garden this year, and I wanted to show you that, remember you saw the film of us weeding in the dark last night, so we've got it all weeded out. You'll see that little granular substance on there, that's called a pre-emergent. I am trying something new this year because those weeds go crazy every year. They seem to be the only thing that loves the Arizona heat. So this year, this pre-emergent stuff, you get rid of all the weeds in the soil, and then you put this over the top, and what it does is it creates a barrier that the new weeds can't grow up through. I think they germinate underground, but they don't come up through. So everybody's kind of struggling because it's been super hot for now about 6 weeks now. So I'm going to run to the garden timer and make sure that the sprinklers are getting ready to turn on. And you can see that in our hoop garden, we use these hoops in every season of the year. So at this time of year, what I've got on there is I've got some bird netting because the birds get in because they also love organic homegrown tomatoes and peppers. Imagine that. And so the dogs, as you know the story on that. So the bird netting keeps them out. We had a little bit of sunshade end part of May, and that keeps everybody going. I've turned up the water, and the tomatoes are doing better than they've ever done before. Then what's interesting is in the wintertime, we also pick tomatoes right around Christmas every year because we put plastic over these hoops, put some heat lamps under there, and even in the dead of winter, which you all probably won't believe, we actually get cold, cold, cold in the wintertime, but we do. So I use these little clips to keep everybody in place.